In this video I'm going to show how to create textures on terrain. I will create texture output, set up textures, and introduce you the other two generators, slope and cavity. I'll use a fine-tuned map from a previous tutorial. It consists of a noise generator atop of the Voronoi pattern, slightly modified by curve. In case you were not watching the previous tutorial, I will quickly create the scene from scratch. I will create a new map magic, remove curve, connect noise, and make it a bit more uniform. Okay, like this one. Then I will create Voronoi pattern. I will use 4 cells. And I'll make them organic. For example, like this one. Okay. Then I will connect Voronoi and noise to height. I think that this will be okay. We can tune it later anyways. Now I will create a new texture output generator. Create, output, textures. The texture output generator has a layered structure. It blends textures using the input maps as masks, just like Photoshop. Here we can see the first background layer. Now we'll assign diffuse and bump textures in these slots. The left one is for the albedo, the right one is for the normal maps. You can see that the terrain became as green as a grass texture. These parameters are the default split map properties, but since our terrain is using the standard terrain shader, not all of them are working. For example, changing specular color will do nothing. And since my grass texture has an alpha map, it is used as a smoothness parameter. Changing the smoothness will not take an effect either. This is the way the standard terrain shader works. I will set texture size to 20. I will not change the offset. And I will increase metallic level a bit, just to make it look better. I know that the grass doesn't contain bronze or gold, but anyways it will be better. Next, I will add the new layer by clicking this plus button. I'll call it rock. And by the way, I'll rename background layer to the grass. Then I'll set the new layer properties, just like did with the grass. I'll assign textures, diffuse and normal map, set size, and set the metallic level. You can see that all of the non-background layers have an input for the mask. I'll assign height as a mask to demonstrate it. I'll just add a curve to make the effect more visible. You can see that lower areas are a bit more grassy, and higher areas are a bit more rocky. I will increase the mask contrast with the curves to make the effect more visible. This is the main concept of layer masking, but assigning height as a mask for rocks will not make a terrain very realistic. Rocks should be painted mainly on sloping surfaces, but not at a certain height level. And that's what the slope generator for. I will remove the curve and add the slope instead. By adjusting the steepness value, we can set the incline level that will be filled with rocks. And the range slider determines how sharp will be the gradient between the rocks and the grass. And now let's add another texture. It will also be a rock, but this time it will be bright. I will add a cavity generator, connect it to noise, and I won't connect it to Bright Rock input yet. I'll make a preview instead. Preview on terrain. And when I press generate button, I will see a red field, some of green pixels on sharp terrain edges. So I will raise intensity level and raise the spread a bit, like this. Okay, now I will clear the preview and connect output to the heat. You can see that all of the bulge areas are filled with a bright rock. By the way, if you connect a bright rock with concave output, you can see that it fills a concave areas. And now I'd like to say a couple of words about the layer order. For example, we would like to add one more grass layer. This time it will be the dry grass. And we want to mix it with a green grass using the standard noise pattern. Wait a second, I'll create this pattern and make a preview. And we've got to use curves to make it a bit more contrast. And now let's add the dry grass layer and set it up. Now connect the noise to the dry grass. And as you can see, it lays atop of the rocks. It doesn't suit us, so we've got to move the dry grass layer down. It should be next layer after the green grass. As you can see, by moving the layers up and down, the layer order determines the texture priority. The higher the layer is in the list, the higher is its priority. Now you may wonder, what are these output icons next to each layer? Why do the texture output generator has its own outputs? The answer is not so obvious now, but in next tutorials, when you will start working with the grass output, you will find these outputs very useful. They are the layer processed input maps. Let me show you the dry grass output when it is below the rock and bright rock. You can see a noise pattern which have a rock and bright rock subtracted from it. And now I will raise this layer up. Here you can see the unchanged and unmodified noise pattern. So this is the output as it is displayed on the terrain, not its source, but the real yellow grass as it's shown in scene view. Okay, to the end of this tutorial we've got a pretty textured terrain and hopefully learned to work with cavity and slope generators and some basic things about the layered texture output. Thanks for watching. Bye.